Welcome, curious stars of the night, to another enchanting tale on Bedtime Stories. Tuck yourselves in, snuggle up close, and let your mind drift into a world of wonder. Tonight's story is one of kindness, mystery, and a sprinkle of magic. It's the tale of the Elves and the Shoemaker. Are you ready? Then close your eyes and let us begin. Once upon a time, nestled in the heart of a small village surrounded by tall pine trees and cobblestone paths, there lived an old shoemaker and his gentle wife. Their tiny home sat just above their shop, where the smell of fresh leather and wood polish drifted through the windows like a warm memory. The shoemaker was known across the village for his fine work. He was slow, for he stitched every shoe with love, but his hands were skilled and his heart was true. His wife, a woman with a voice like a lullaby and eyes as kind as springtime, helped him with polishing and organizing the shop. Though the villagers admired his craftsmanship, times were hard. Fewer people could afford new shoes, and the shoemaker's supplies grew thin. One gray evening, as snowflakes began to drift lazily from the sky, the old man looked at his wife and sighed. "Shoemaker, this is all the leather we have left, my dear. Enough for one last pair." "Wife, then use it well, my love. The world has a way of returning kindness." By candlelight, the shoemaker carefully cut the final piece of leather. His hands, though old, were steady. He arranged the pieces neatly on his workbench and whispered a small hope to the stars before heading to bed. That night, as the moon bathed the village in silver light and the fireplace flickered softly, something magical stirred. Two tiny figures, no taller than a teacup, appeared in the workshop. They were elves, cheerful, quick, and clever. Their clothes were sewn from leaves and thistle threads, and their feet were bare despite the cold. With nimble hands, they climbed onto the bench. Their little voices hummed a tune no human had ever heard, a song of joy and helpfulness. They stitched and sewed, tugged and tapped, polished and perfected until the shoes were the finest ever made. When the shoemaker awoke the next morning, he made his way to the shop, expecting to see the unstitched leather waiting. "Shoemaker, what is this?" There on the bench sat a gleaming pair of shoes, perfect in every way. The stitching was neat, the leather soft as velvet, and the soles sturdy and strong. The shoemaker called for his wife, and together they marveled at the shoes. Before long, a well-dressed gentleman knocked on the shop door. He was passing through the village and had heard of the shoemaker's skill. When he saw the shoes, his eyes lit up. "Customer, these are magnificent. I must have them." He paid a generous price, far more than the shoemaker had hoped for. With the money, the shoemaker bought enough leather for 2 more pairs of shoes. That evening, just as before, he cut the leather and left it on the bench. And just as before, the elves returned. They worked joyfully through the night, creating 2 more flawless pairs. The next day, those shoes sold even faster. Customers began lining up outside the little shop. Each morning, new shoes awaited the shoemaker, and each evening, he cut more leather and left it with a thankful heart. The shoemaker and his wife no longer worried about food or firewood. Their little shop grew warm and bright, filled with the smell of fresh bread and leather, laughter, and the quiet peace that comes with gratitude. But one question remained in their hearts. "Wife, who are these secret helpers? And why do they help us so kindly?" So, one winter's evening, the shoemaker and his wife lit a single candle and hid behind a curtain. They waited in silence as the clock ticked past midnight. Then, it happened. The elves appeared. Their eyes sparkled, their tiny hands worked quickly, and their bare feet danced softly on the wooden bench as they sewed and sang. The shoemaker and his wife watched with wonder. "Shoemaker, they have no shoes, and no warm clothes. They help us with nothing but joy in their hearts." The couple stayed up the rest of the night making a plan. The next day, they worked not with leather, but with soft cloth and wool. The shoemaker stitched tiny boots, the best he'd ever made. His wife sewed 2 little coats, complete with shiny buttons, warm scarves, mittens, and cozy hats with tiny tassels. They wrapped the gifts in silk and placed them on the workbench where the leather usually lay. That night, they hid once more. The elves arrived, ready to work. But when they saw the little outfits, their eyes widened. They unfolded each item with trembling hands and joyful gasps. First elf. "Oh. A coat for me?" Second elf. "Boots. Real boots for my chilly toes." They danced around the workshop in their new clothes, twirling and laughing. Then, with a final joyful giggle, they bowed deeply toward the curtain, as if they knew someone was watching. And just like that, they vanished into the night. From that night on, the elves never returned. But the shoemaker and his wife didn't mind. The help had been given with love, and returned with kindness. Their shop continued to thrive, not through magic, but through gratitude and care. They told their tale to children who visited the shop, always ending with a smile and a wink. Shoemaker, kindness given freely is the greatest magic of all. And so, curious stars of the night, may you remember this story when you wonder about the quiet helpers in your life. Whether they are seen or unseen, kindness often tiptoes in when we need it most. Sleep now, beneath your warm covers. Dream of tiny coats and stitched shoes, of candlelit shops and snowy windows, and always, always believe in the magic of giving. Until next time, good night, and may your dreams be gentle.